So you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas and you're deciding whether or not you want a one-story home or a two-story home. It's a good question, right? If you're stuck on a one-story, that takes about 50% or more of the inventory away when you're looking for a home. So maybe we look for a two-story home. Is that a good idea or is it not? Well, at the end of this video, you're going to know. Because if you make the wrong decision, it could mean a diminished lifestyle in the future or even a diminished financial situation if you have to change homes when your needs go out. And we're going all in on the single story, two-story comparison in Las Vegas right now. So as I mentioned, we're here today, we're talking about the choice between a single-story home or a two-story home. Which one is right for you? Now, whether it's your first home or your forever home or a retirement home after the kids have left the nest, you really got to answer this one question when you start shopping for a place to spend your life. One or two stories. In this case, could be multiple stories. We do have three-story homes here in Las Vegas, some even a little bit more radical with lots of stairs, but you got to answer that question. Now, each type of home comes with its own set of distinct advantages and disadvantages, and the choice is ultimately going to come down to your personal needs, your concerns, and your plans for the future and how you feel about things. Anyway, let's go ahead and start exploring the pros and the cons of the single-story homes versus the two-story homes. And at the end of this video, you're going to be able to make an informed decision with confidence as to what makes the most sense for you. By the way, my name's Micah Bleecher, and I love living in Las Vegas, and I think you're going to love living here too. Now, if you're thinking about moving here, you should know that we put our whole heart into helping people make that move. Now, I've lived here for more than 20 years, like over 22 years now. But before that, I've made several cross-country moves. And believe me, I understand the pain points. It's tricky. But we're here to help you through those because helping people is what we do. So feel free to reach out. Send me a text. Send me an email. Schedule a Zoom. My information is all over the channel. I'd love to get to know you, hear your needs, and start helping you make that smooth and painless move here to the amazing city of Las Vegas, Nevada. And if you want to be the first to know about everything about the Las Vegas Valley from tip to tip and everything in between, then come join me on my neighborhood deep dives. We're having fun, we're learning things, and we're covering a lot of ground, so hit subscribe, tap the bell, and never miss a show. We got new shows every week. Okay, friends, let's just get started right away here. And we're starting with the benefits of a single-story home, the pros of a single-story home. Number one, no stairs to climb. And right away, that's going to save you when you're moving in because there's not going to be any stairs to haul furniture and boxes up. Oh, you hire a professional to do all that stuff? So do I, but guess what? They don't do everything. You've still got small things, small items. Everything's got to be hauled upstairs. Sometimes what's upstairs have to come downstairs. So without stairs, all of that process is eliminated. So single story eliminates the issue of hauling things up the stairs. Now, the other issue with stairs, as Sir Isaac Newton has pointed out, what goes up must come down. Danger of falling down the stairs is real. So not having stairs is ideal for young family members, particularly very young ones, and also family members with limited mobility. Now, I have a study here from the American Journal on Emergency Medicine, and I mean, everybody knows that stairs are dangerous. You're not going to believe how dangerous they are and how prevalent these accidents are, but I'm going to go over that report in a little bit, so stay with me. Anyway, we're going to get on to item number two, pro number two here, and that is quiet living. Look, if you've got a floor upstairs and people walking around while you're trying to sleep, that's going to be noisy. More expensive homes, they put those floor joists closer together and eliminate some of those noise, but I don't know if they are doing that now on the new builds. You know, they might be wanting the maximum space between joists. Either way, even when they're close, you can still hear people walking around upstairs while you're downstairs, and that is just not an acceptable situation for some people. So quiet living is pro number two for single-story homes. Now, pro number three for single-story homes is ease of maintenance. Now, do the math. I mean, if you're trying to paint a house, and it's a lot easier to paint a single-story home than a two-story home, you're going to have to get extension ladders and extension rods for your paint. Honestly, as a former insurance broker, it costs more to buy insurance depending on how high your ladders go if you're a commercial painter. So yeah, things are less expensive maintenance wise when you have a single story. Washing the windows, you hire a window washer, they come on a single story, it's very easy. Then if it's a two-story, now they got to get a ladder and go up. So that's an issue. Gutter cleaning, well, it's a lot easier on a single-story home on one, ladder that's closer to the ground than a giant extension ladder up on the second story where you're cleaning out the gutters. That can be a tricky situation as well. I've known people that have fallen off. I knew a fellow whose father was doing just that and fell off the ladder, and that was it. So yeah, first of all, I hire professionals to do that, and it's cheaper if they don't have to go up to the second story to do it. Now, the fourth issue is safety. During a fire emergency and you got to get out a window, it's going to be a lot easier to get out of a single story window and probably less likely of injury if you're jumping out of a single story window than if you're jumping out of a two-story window. So in the unlikely event that that's something that's needed, well, a single story home in that case is going to be much safer. Now the fifth pro for single stories, just real quick, it's a little cheaper to heat and cool single story homes. It's a little more efficient. Now I know some of the newer systems can kind of mitigate that with the engineering and so forth. They're so much more efficient, but at the end of the day, it is a little bit easier and cheaper to heat and cool a single story home. Okay, now we're talking about a few of the drawbacks of single story homes. Nothing is perfect. Everything, has ups and downs, twists and turns. Nothing is all one way, so there are some drawbacks of a single-story home, and here's a few of them. There's a little bit less privacy in a lot of cases. It's more difficult to separate, busy living areas because everything is on the first floor, and so many of the newer homes have these open floor plans that sometimes it's difficult to kind of separate the area with all the activity from the bedroom spaces, and that can be a privacy issue for some people. So that is one drawback of some single-story homes. Another drawback in some cases is limited aesthetic options because you've got the one floor, and if you want that high ceiling in the entryway or in the front room, it's not always easy to get a raised ceiling on a single-story home. Of course, if you're buying a contemporary home where they've designed the home to have high ceilings, that's one thing, but a ranch home is not going to have that high of ceilings on a single story. So that can be a drawback. There are some aesthetic advantages to having a multi-story home that you're not going to have in a single story. And then another drawback that I wanted to point out is security. And of course, all of these can be mitigated with systems, but if you're the kind of person that likes to sleep at night with your window open, when the weather's nice, that can be a security problem. So now I always recommend security systems, and actually we create a security system so where we can have that window open a little bit, and if it opens anymore, it sets off the alarm. But again, that's just something that you have to think about if you have a single story home. So it does sometimes provide a little bit of a security risk if you have windows open when you're sleeping. Well, anyway, folks, before we get on to the two-story homes, let me know what you think. Have I missed any aspects of one stories that are sticking out like a sore thumb? Feel free to comment down below or reach out, give me a text, send me an email, let me know what you think. Still have that medical report coming up a little bit later that you're not going to want to miss. So before you decide whether you're a one-story person or a two-story person, you may want to wait for that. That was really eye-opening and a shocker. So anyway, we're starting on the two-story pros and cons right now. Okay, friends, now we're starting on the pros and cons real quick for the two-story homes. But just wanted to tell you real quick, in 2017, we moved from a two-story home to a one-story home. It's a little closer in, and we had a really good reason for that. Even though we had a primary bedroom on the first floor, we still wanted one-story home, and I'm going to tell you why we moved right after this section with pros and cons on two stories. Anyway, number one pro for two-story homes is the beautiful scenic views. Now, it's just a lot harder to get a good view from a single-story home, and it's a lot easier to get a good view when you're on the second story looking out of a higher window because you have the height advantage. And I've seen a lot of situations where you can't see anything from the first floor. You go upstairs, look out the window, you've got mountain view, you've got a city view, golf course, whatever. So having that extra height on the second floor sometimes can give you better views. So that is something to consider. Now, the second pro for two-story homes is expanded living space. It's much easier to get a separation between the main living area and the bedroom spaces. You can put the bedroom spaces upstairs and the activity areas downstairs, and you can get a much more expanded kind of living area and have greater separation of activities. And for some people, that's very important. So you can get that more easily in a two-story home. Number 3 is cost-effective building. Now, we're on a shorter footprint of land and we're going up, and so builders can get a little economy of scale when they go up. They have to use fewer roofing tiles, and they don't have to do the foundation on the second floor. They're just putting in floor joists and that kind of thing. And so the building cost for the second floor, price per square foot, is probably going to be a little bit less. And that's a reality here in Las Vegas. We've got a land shortage, and so it's harder to get large lots. And more often, we're seeing builders putting, skinny, tall houses on smaller lots. You see that a lot on the East Coast, where they don't have a lot of space. And we're starting to see that out here because we're challenged where all of the highly desired land is in the Las Vegas Valley. And so, yeah, there's probably a little bit of extra land outside the valley, but we have very limited space to work with. So many builders are taking advantage of the small footprints and going up. And in that same vein, going up, it's easier for expansion. You can add bedrooms and so forth without having to add additional land, to your property. You can't do it here in Las Vegas anyway, but it does give you, going up gives you that little bit of extra option. Maybe put a room over the garage, that kind of thing, rather than taking up the garage. So perhaps you can do that. I've actually seen people do that. So that is a possibility with a two-story house that you really don't have so much with a one-story house. Okay, friends, now we're on the drawbacks of a two-story house, the cons of a two-story house. Let me know what you're thinking. What do you think about what we've been talking so far? Feel free to just, put a comment down below or shoot me a text or an email. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, drawback or con number 1 for two-story houses, stairs. Of course, we're going to go over the safety issue in just a second. I got that medical report I want to share with you. But stairs are, clearly the biggest con of two-story homes. Not only is it a safety issue, of course, we're going to talk about that, but they take up space. Wherever those stairs are, of course, you're going to lose square footage of storage and living space because you've got those stairs to get up to the second floor. Number 1. Number 2, every kid knows that monsters live under the stairs. So no stairs, no monsters. That's a big problem solved right there. If you got kids or grandkids, no monsters. Very important. Well, friends, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about here. I was out at this same complex a couple months ago with some YouTube clients from Canada, and we were looking at over 55, we were looking at condos around Summerlin, stuff like that. And a set of stairs was not a problem. They're younger than me, like on the very young side, over 55. And so we came here. They're not two-story condo, townhouse type of situation. So we get here, and of course, there's immediately some stairs going up. And so I just wanted to kind of give you a little example of what I'm talking about. So it's a little bit of walk up when we get in. So when we get in, now, let me take off my glasses so I can see. Now we were in a little landing area here, as you see. And now we can go down these stairs and a bedroom down here and a garage. So anytime you come in with groceries from the garage, you got to go up these stairs, right here. Of course, you got to go down those stairs to get out. Now we're coming up these stairs here. Little laundry room, little den, kind of an area over there. And this seems to be the floor where the primary bedroom is, and that's right in this area right over here. And so now we're going up, I'm getting a little bit out of breath. We're going up another step upstairs. Now I'm in pretty good shape, but I've been up and down a couple times checking them out. Now we're on the kitchen level. So, holy moly, you go downstairs from the garage with a couple bags of groceries, or even the front door if they're delivered, and that's a lot of stairs to climb. Now we're in the kitchen area. Now I'm coming up here. There's more stairs, a little bedroom over there. This is great. And we've got a roof deck, which is absolutely stunning. I like this condo, this townhouse, but if you are older like me, it's too much. These stairs are too much. Look how incredible, beautiful this is up here. Just absolutely gorgeous.
But if you had to do these stairs every day, and you're my age or close to, that's going to be a problem. You know, we have aches and pains, and it's just not going to be so easy. So anyway, that's a lot of stairs. Now we got from the roof deck. Now we're coming down the stairs here. Kitchen area, another little bedroom over there. Now we're going down these steps. In fact, my clients said it felt like a maze to them, and it kind of does. We're going down these steps. Now we're on the primary suite floor, primary suite, laundry suite, and now we're coming down the steps one more time to the front door, and we've got a choice. We can go down the stairs to the garage or go down the stairs outside. And in this case, we're going to go outside, and I think this is a fantastic little property, and it's going to be great for a younger person, but an older person like me is probably not going to want to buy this. Anyway, it was a great property, beautiful, and this is going to make somebody happy, somebody with young knees.
Now, the second drawback for two-story homes is higher heating and cooling costs. We kind of covered that a little bit in the single-story part, but it really does take more energy to heat that second floor, to keep that second floor cool in the summer, especially here in Las Vegas. You know, heat rises and we've got to push that cold air up to the second floor and it wants to come down. The brand new homes, of course, they've got systems that are more efficient and mitigate that to some degree, but it is just much easier to keep a single story home in a temperate zone that's comfortable. It just is. Takes less energy. Con number 3 for two-story homes is the maintenance issues. Of course, every time you got to wash those second story windows, you got to get on a ladder. Every time you do a gutter, you've got to get that extension ladder. You've got something on the roof. I mean, I'll go up to a single story gutter and do some cleaning, but on a two-story, I think, you know, I'm going to get a professional to do it. I want somebody with insurance and a young guy to get up there and fish out everything out of those tall gutters. So there are maintenance issues that come with a two-story house that you don't see on a one-story. And as I mentioned, I was going to tell you, you know, in 2017, we were living in a two-story home and made a very deliberate decision to go to a one-story home. And you know, a lot of realtors will tell you, like, well, we've got these two-story homes, but the primary bedroom is on the first floor, and that is good. It's better than if it was on the second floor for people that have difficulty with stairs. But for us, you know, we had you know, some orthopedic issues. My wife had orthopedic issues, and the stairs all of a sudden became a problem. I mean, never in my life before did I care about two-story, one-story. You know, it just didn't really matter. If I liked the house, I liked the house. If I didn't like it, I didn't like it. The stairs weren't an issue. But, you know, in my 50s, when things started hurting, knees, hips, that kind of thing, stairs became an issue very quickly, and it got to the point where we made the decision we had to move, and so that's what we did. In our late 50s, we moved and got a single-story house, great one. We love the area that we're in. We're very glad we made the move, and no more trips up the stairs, no more laundry up and down the stairs, no more any up and down the stairs when it comes to living in our house. We are single-story people all the way. Okay, friends, now we're gonna go over that medical study I was telling you about from the American Journal of Emergency Medicine. So it's a legitimate medical study, and this medical study spanned 23 years. So they have data from stair falling injuries over a 23-year period. So that's where these conclusions came from and this information came from. So that is quite a study. Anyway, over 1 million people a year become injured to the point where they have to go to the emergency room from falling down the stairs every single year. During the course of this study, they looked at 23 million cases. So that's how they know this, over 23 years. So not only are people injured from falling down the stairs, 12,000 people a year die from falling down the stairs. So it's serious. Now, stair injuries are the #2 leading cause of injury behind motor vehicles, and I found that to be shocking. Now, of course, younger people and older people are affected more severely than the group in the middle. And, you know, we're talking about sprains and soft tissue injuries and that kind of thing. And, you know, young people bend more than they break, but us old folks, we're a little bit more brittle. We're the ones that come up with the more severe fractures, the more intense hospitalizations, and we, you know, our bones break. So, it's more dangerous for older people because we have more severe injuries when we fall down the stairs. So this is a critical thing. This is what turned us into a single-story family, and it may be what's driving you to a single-story home. I can tell you that my clients are very specific when they are home shopping, and almost all of them are looking for a single-story home. Not all of them want the over 55, but nearly all of them are looking for a single-story home because getting older, it just is what it is. And it's something that we all have to deal with at some point if we're lucky. Now, another interesting little tidbit on that I found extremely shocking was that the prevalence of female injuries over male injuries is greater. Now, they did this over a 23-year period, so it's accurate. Females get injured around 46 times falling down the stairs per 10,000 people versus males were injured only 29 times per 10,000 people. Now, I don't know the reason for that. I don't even want to speculate. All I know is most of the women that I know are quite a bit more graceful than I am. I'm the clumsy one, so I don't understand that part of it. But at any rate, those are the numbers that came out of this study. So when you're shopping for homes, it's really important to decide what you want. Now, it does take away about half the market if you're only looking for single stories, but it may be worth the wait. And if you get somebody like me, I'm going to stick with you. I'm not going to try and talk you into a two-story house. I'm not going to try and talk you into a two-story house with the first floor on the master. I had that. We had to move out of that. I know that's not going to work for you in most cases. I've seen buyers with other agents that have purchased two-story homes, and they were my age or older, and I could see them having a hard time walking up the stairs during the purchase process. And I felt so bad for them. I know what's going to happen is in a couple of years, they're going to call their realtor, or maybe me if I send them a postcard to sell that house. They're going to want a single-story home at some point. I can tell you that it's going to be difficult for this couple that I'm thinking about right now. And so don't let that happen to you. You don't want to get a two-story home if you need a single-story home. It's very important. It could be a life-changing decision. And if you have to change at a late age, it could be severely financially devastating to you if you had to change homes when you were not financially ready or at the wrong time, simply because you made a mistake and bought a two-story home, when you're moving to Las Vegas instead of waiting for a one-story. Anyway, that's the lowdown on 2 stories versus 1 stories. I think it kind of clears it up. I hope it's given you a lot of information. I hope it's going to help you when you're shopping for homes, give you confidence to stick to your guns and get that single story home if that's what you're looking for. And if you need somebody to help you that is going to stick with you all the way, give me a call. I'll be that guy that stick with you. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching today. I sure appreciate you being with me. By the way, my name's Micah Bleecher, and I love living in Las Vegas. I think you're going to love living here too. I really do. Stay tuned for more video deep dives into the cool neighborhoods of Las Vegas. Come join me on my adventures. We're learning things, we're covering a lot of ground, and we're having fun. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and never miss a show. And whether you're moving in 1 month or 1 year, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, schedule a Zoom. I'd love to hear from you, get to know you, and help you start making that smooth, painless, easy move to the great city of Las Vegas. Thank you, friends. Peace out. I love you. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you on the next video.